In the years following World War I, the Australian government handed out plots of land in Western Australia to returning veterans, tasking them with farming wheat in the harsh outback. By 1932, these fledgling farms were slammed by a dual crisis. A massive regional drought dried up the land, right as the global Great Depression cratered the price of their crops. The men working this dirt were former soldiers who had survived the trenches of Europe. They were hardened and resilient, but entirely out of options. Between the extreme poverty and the relentless environment, there was zero safety net left. Even a minor disruption to their upcoming harvest would mean total, irreversible ruin. Then came breeding season. Drawn inland by the promise of the farmers' freshly irrigated lands, roughly 20,000 emus migrated directly into the wheat belt. The massive birds devoured the crops and physically trampled what they couldn't eat. They smashed huge holes through the protective fencing, leaving wide-open pathways for rabbits to pour in and amplify the agricultural disaster. Facing starvation, the veteran farmers bypassed the standard agricultural authorities. They fell back on their military training and requested heavy artillery, specifically machine guns, to call the herd. The Minister of Defense, Sir George Pierce, eagerly agreed to the plan. He saw the deployment as an easy public relations win to help out struggling veterans, and a convenient excuse to get his troops some live target practice. Framing a complex agricultural crisis as a standard military engagement meant that the government's success would depend entirely on whether nature followed human rules of engagement. The strike team was commanded by Major G.P.W. Meredith. His unit consisted of 2 soldiers armed with 2 Lewis automatic machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. In early November, the military initiated Phase 1. They spotted 1,000 emus near Campion, attempting to herd the flock into an ambush. But at the sound of the first shots, the birds intuitively scattered. Instead of clumping together, they broke into dozens of rapidly moving groups. Stationary machine guns are designed to mow down clustered enemy ranks. Against this chaotic retreat, the heavy weapons were effectively neutralized. To make matters worse, one of the guns jammed almost immediately. Out of 1,000 birds in the ambush zone, the soldiers managed to kill exactly 12. Military tactics are built for predictable lines of infantry. In Campion scrublands, that doctrine met a target that refused to behave like a soldier. Realizing stationary ambushes wouldn't work, Meredith pivoted. He strapped a Lewis gun to a truck, intending to chase the birds across the outback. The terrain was deeply rutted and incredibly rough. The truck bounced so violently that the gunner couldn't even pull the trigger, let alone aim, while the emus easily sprinted away at 50 kilometers per hour. After a brief withdrawal following humiliating press coverage, the military returned in mid-November to fight a grueling war of attrition. Major Meredith would later claim a slightly better success rate during this second phase. The final brutal math of Meredith's report showed that fired 9,860 rounds to secure 986 kills, exactly 10 bullets per bird. Observers noted incredible durability, as many emus took multiple direct hits and simply kept running. The military's technological superiority was completely neutralized. Millions of years of evolutionary adaptation to the harsh Australian desert outmatched early 20th century firepower. Major Meredith eventually admitted defeat and withdrew his forces. While there were 0 human casualties, over 19,000 emus remained alive to continue devastating the wheat farms. The government quietly learned its lesson. Despite repeated pleas from farmers, they flatly refused to send the military back out in 1934, 1943, and 1948. This chart shows exactly what solved the crisis: a decentralized bounty system. The flat line at the bottom is the military's total, absolutely dwarfed by a massive spike representing the over 284,000 emus culled by private citizens between 1945 and 1960. Targeted, localized action, carried out by people who intimately understood the environment, succeeded easily where centralized, inflexible military force had failed. Major Meredith later summarized his opponents by saying, "If we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. They can face machine guns with the invulnerability of tanks." The heavy weaponry that defined modern warfare was designed for concentrated targets and static fronts, not the scattered, high-speed reality of the Australian interior. Nature does not fight by our rules. When humanity declares war on an apex survivor in its own habitat, nature wins decisively.